Alright, I'm here with another all-new pickup video going over my recent finds. Flea market stuff, some garage sale stuff that didn't make the cut for videos, GameStop buy one, get one, pretty good deals there. All kinds of stuff in this one, so we're going to jump into it. Before we jump in though, if you could leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, comment down below with what you've been picking up lately or what you think of my pickups, and follow me on Twitter over at Objo Gaming. We're going to jump into the video and see what kind of great stuff I can get. Guys, I got something special here. This is a GameStop unboxing. So it probably might not be as exciting as sometimes you see GameStop unboxings, you know, for older used stuff. This is going to be all new stuff. But maybe GameStop will let me down. Maybe they won't. I'm hoping these are mostly sealed or, you know, all sealed, but you never know what GameStop does with their new stuff. You know, dump schmegma on them or something. Who knows? But we got a GameStop unboxing. So let's see. I ordered some games. They were doing a buy one, get one free. I ordered some games. Let's see what is inside this box. Okay. We got some games. Alright, let's see how this goes. So buy one, get one free. I used this to catch up mostly on stuff that was, you know, Square Enix came out last year at the end of the year and beginning of this year a little bit and released like 20,000 games that no one had a prayer of catching up on. I don't know what they were thinking, but they released like 13 games in like 3 months or something. I don't know what was up with that, but I didn't buy like any of them because of that. And buy one, get one free. These games are already like on sale, most of them. So when you take that sale price and put them half off, they were all, I think the most expensive game was like $22 or something. So I'll go through them, what I got here. I don't even remember ordering this one. I'll have to look at my receipt. Dragon Quest Treasures for the Switch. I don't know anything about this one. I like Dragon Quest, so maybe there's something interesting there, but okay. Let's see. I have the receipt here. Let me look at the receipt. Yeah, Dragon Quest, it doesn't have prices on it or anything. Okay. So this one's not sealed. This is just a flat-out new opened copy. Is the disc in here? Okay, the disc is in here. Don't you love GameStop, man? Just give you something new, and it's plastered in like 50 stickers. Like, for how many stickers are here? Look at this. How's it gonna come off? This is. Look at this. It's hard to bend. It's so thick. What are they doing over there, GameStop? But gotta get the freaking goo gun out and get this. Thanks, GameStop. All right, beloved game, loved by many, Forspoken. This was, I think, the most expensive one. It was $45, but half off would make it $22.50. I don't know. You know, it's just, I don't know. You know, you get it. Like, I thought this game looked kind of fun. Like the writing seems bad. I thought this game looked kind of fun, though. Luminous Production shut down after this one, which is funny. When I was in Japan, the Square Enix building had a little map thing that was like, Luminous Productions is in here. And I'm like, not anymore. So, RIP to those fellas. Alright. Star Ocean, The Divine Force. We got a new Star Ocean game. I have not heard too much about this one. I've heard people liked it better than the last one, at least, which was not a good one, from all accounts, so that's cool. But Star Ocean Divine Force. Valkyrie Elysium, kind of part of the Valkyrie Profile series, all that. This one is sealed. And I've heard this one's pretty alright, too. I forget who developed this one for them, but I've heard this one's pretty alright. So, these were games that were like 15. I mean, I think all of these except for Forspoken got me like $15 each or something. I didn't pay much for these. So, and then this game here was a $20. I'm, you know, not thrilled that it's not sealed. This isn't Square Enix. White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. This is like a Korean horror game that we just got not too long ago. Like, we just got this for the first time. I believe this game's kind of older, but I've heard it's interesting, so I wanted to give it a shot, and $20 seemed like a good deal on that. Let's see how these stickers come off. Once again, just absolutely coated in, oh god. Alright, I love new 40, and then they had to put 25,000 stickers over it just for it to be new 40. So I don't know what's up with this. I don't know who fulfilled this order, but shout out to GameStop for this new game that's opened and probably been played, and I don't know. Gotta love GameStop, right? You know, shout out, I guess. But, I mean, this is a good deal. Getting these games for pretty much half off, considering buy one, get one free. You can't complain. When I said, when you get a stack of games like this, and you got, I think the most expensive one was $22.50. That's pretty good. And all stuff I wanted to get at some point. But I think this sale is still going on. It's select games, so you kind of got to go through the list. But pretty good. I don't know if it'll be going on by the time this video comes out. I shouldn't have probably said that, but not too bad. Only two of them weren't sealed, so I mean, I count that as a dub. They had the disc in it at least. I've seen GameStop unboxings where there's just no disc inside, or it's the wrong game, or the game is like had cigarettes put out on it or something. So, you know, I count this as mostly a dub, but good deal, good stuff. Got more games on the backlog. So I went out for the first time, I think it's like January, to go to just do some, you know, game store hunting, check out some of my local game store chains that are the ones I don't get to hit up quite as often because they're a little bit further away than I usually want to drive, you know, like an hour, so nothing too bad. But I decided to head out there. I had a bunch of trade credit kind of stacked up from garage sale stuff, just my low-end garage sale stuff that's not worth selling on eBay or anything. I just throw in a tote, and then every once in a while, once it starts to get full, I will take it over there, see what they take, and get their credit, which I'm always pretty happy with the credit I got. I went with a little over $300 in credit, something like that, just from taking low-end stuff. So, great way of getting some stuff that I want for the collection from junk. And first one I went to had... This is one of my most deranged purchases of all time. It's fascinating to me. This is an item that has absolutely no value to probably most people on this planet, but it actually has a decent amount of value, but it's just a really rare item, and there are none listed on eBay right now, and there's like, there's none sold on eBay recently, and it's hard to even really find much information about this, and this is something I've never seen ever. Like, I've never even knew that this was what it looked like. I've only ever heard of it, but I've never seen it. But I found one. The Planet Web Dreamcast browser, the Volume 3 Dreamcast browser. So to my understanding, you know, Sega published the Dreamcast browsers for, you know, the first one and the second one, the first two versions. If I called them Volume, I'm just really stupid. I feel like I said Volume 3. It's just, you know, version 3.0. And they published that, but then this came out late enough in the Sega, you know, Dreamcast lifespan that why would they care? So to my understanding, this was released at some point in 2001. I couldn't find an exact trustworthy date, but sometime in 2001, it seems, like after the Dreamcast was kind of already dead and buried, and was mail-in order only. You had to get it from Planet Web and do it like a mail-in order for this. So I can't imagine there are very many of these out here, you know, out there. I've never seen it before, but this was just sitting there. It is sealed. The seal's not, you know, perfect or anything. There's a tear down here, but it is sealed, which is nice because, I mean, it's not something I would ever use. But this has to be like the rarest piece of Dreamcast software in the at least North American lineup. If anyone can think of anything different, let me know. But this has to be like the rarest one in the North American lineup, and it's just fascinating. They actually had a good price on this, and when I call it my fun bucks when I have a bunch of trade credit, because I had some stuff I have absolutely no money into. I buy a lot, I made my money back on the lot, and so I just use my credit to buy stuff. So they had this only priced at $100, which I feel is probably a good deal. I'm going to be honest. Just how rare it is. I mean, the demand is probably not there, but with just how rare it is, it's just an interesting thing to have. And it is technically counted as one of the pieces of software towards a complete Dreamcast library. Since it's not a game, you can kind of get away and say, oh, I have every game for the Dreamcast, but now I have every piece of software for the North American lineup. Very weird thing. I talked too much about it. If you know anything more about this, maybe how many there are, or if any of my information was wrong, leave it down in the comments below. But very interesting find. But to anyone normal and not completely deranged, I actually got video games too, not just obsolete software. So next stop I went to, which has been like the best of this, it's all from the same chain, The Exchange. If you're in Ohio or Pennsylvania, I'm sure you know it. They had some good Dreamcast stuff. The one store always seems to have a really big Dreamcast library. I always end up coming out of there with games that I don't have, which I'm less than 20 games away from full set. So it is getting harder and harder to find games I don't have. But use my trade credit to pick up these ones. This is another one. I've never once seen this game anywhere before. I don't look on eBay very often, so I'm sure maybe I could find it on eBay. But I've never once seen this game before. Super Runabout San Francisco Edition. I've never seen this cover before. When I saw this game spine, I thought, oh, did they accidentally put a PlayStation game in with the Dreamcast? Because I've never heard of the game before. You know, I feel like I'm being gaslit because I feel like I'm very familiar with the Dreamcast library. So to just have a game that I've never once seen in my life pop up is very weird. They had $45 on it, so free pretty much with trade credit, but very cool to grab another one that I don't have. Must be pretty uncommon, pretty probably rare, I would almost be willing to say. And that's not a word I like to use very often, but cool nonetheless. And then at that store as well, I got another Dreamcast game, Street Fighter Double Impact. They had $75 on that, Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 3 is such a great looking game, like the sprite art and everything. Capcom was really killing it in like that era with like Marvel vs. Capcom, Darkstalkers and stuff. Their 2D fighters look so great. But got that one as well. So 2 more and technically 3 more pieces of software knocked off the list. Getting close to completion. Hoping to complete it by 2030. But pretty much the only big game I need is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And then Bangai-O, I need that one as well, which is a little bit more pricey. But a lot of the stuff I need is just like stuff like that Super Runabout that I never see. Speaking of completionist collecting, I'm also going for full N64, and I'm about the same distance away. And I got one that I did not have, Chameleon Twist 2, which I've heard is a pretty good game, so I'll have to try it out. I remember playing, like messing around a little bit with the first game, and it was pretty fun, so I'll have to try this one out. But Chameleon Twist 2, $55 is about retail for it, but this is a pretty uncommon game as well. Not one I find very often, and anytime I do find it in the store, it's like $80. It's like way overpriced, so was happy to pay $55. We'll probably need to replace the back at some point just because it has a big sticker on it. But it's always easy. Probably, next time I find a garage sale N64 lot or something, I'll take it off of Madden 64 or something. So cool to get that as well. And that was from my day of trade purchases. I still have a little bit of trade credit left, and I'm just going to keep building it up with my garage sale low dollar stuff. But cool stuff to grab there. Happy with the finds and happy to be getting games that I never see. So that's always good as well. And hopefully Dreamcast can continue to get, some Dreamcast and N64 can continue to get some knocked off the list coming up soon. Moving on from that, Abjo Dad ended up going to a game store. He was out of town. He ended up going to a game store. Got me one of the N64 games I'm missing. I think I'm less than 20 away from the full set now. And I somehow did not have NBA Hang Time, believe it or not. So he found that one for a good price. Another odd thing, Abjo Dad went to a garage sale with me one day, but I didn't find any games, so it's not going to be in a video. But he, this is so strange. He bought a vinyl record, I think for like a quarter of something he wanted. And this, when we got home, we realized this was stuck to it. This is just someone's ultrasound for a baby. So this kid would be 7 years old now. This was in 2016, I guess 6 years old probably. We'll have to see. I don't know how it would lie, but very strange, very bizarre. I now have. I don't know what house this was even at. I don't remember what house it was. I don't think they would want it back. I'm just gonna throw it away, but I felt like that was funny enough to put in the video because it's just I've found some weird stuff. I've gotten yearbooks and bundles of games before. I've gotten pictures, letters, never an ultrasound. That's a new one. That is a new one. Flea market finds I found here. Some nice stuff out at the flea market, actually. So, I don't know. This one guy. He must do storage units or something. He's been having some stuff that I've been grabbing from him. Found a GameCube cable from him for $5, but figured I'd show that good deal. But the real stuff is I got some interesting Sega stuff actually. Another look like storage unit guy had some consoles sitting out. I think he wanted 20 each from, but it was just no cables kind of thing, and nothing that I was really dying for. But got some nice Sega stuff that was just sitting in a bin. A Saturn controller. Very nice. I don't have this version of the Saturn controller, so I'm going to keep that for myself. But a Saturn controller there. The Virtual Fighter. Is this the game, or is this might be is this the full game, or is this just a demo? Because it's not for resale and it's not in the full thing. But I think this is the full game. Maybe it was a pack-in with something. Let me know in the comments. Was it a pack-in with this controller, like how they did for Knights? I'm not sure. Grossest case I've ever seen in my life here. Disc-only copy of Need for Speed as well. Not too bad. And then a Sonic and Knuckles. Actually has the little thing, so that didn't, die. So Sonic and Knuckles as well. That was $10 for that stack there. That's all he wanted for that. This is another weird one too. So I was at the flea. I was kind of just there casually. I was there a little bit later. So a lot of the times when stuff is already out, there's usually a reason why it's still out and it hasn't been bought yet. And I see one guy has a PS2 system and he has $80 on it, which is not a great deal. But then he had his games priced at $10 each. Like, he had all signed PS2 games, $10 each. And the games were not good. Like, it was all of the stuff that if you saw it for $1, you would pass it up. Sports, like low-end racing games, ATV, hunting games, stuff like that. Nothing good there. Well, not to say nothing, because he had a couple good racing games in there, and this guy was not budging from $10 each. So I picked up two I was interested in, and was seeing if he would do $15 for the pair. And he was like, I really don't want to. And then he didn't say anything else, so it was like sitting there in silence for like a beat. And I was like, 17? Like, and he's like, I guess. It was like I was asking him, like, yeah, will you take $5 for your brand new car? Like, the way this guy acted about it was like I was like shooting him in the head or something. He was really distraught. But I'm thinking, like, man, you're not going to sell any of these games for $10 each. Like, these are just not valuable games. So that stuff's going to sit out there. But I did get these two. This one I've never seen before. King of Route 66. So I found out this is a sequel to like the 18-wheeler. This was a Sega arcade game made and published by Sega. And it's a sequel to that 18-wheeler game. But I've never seen this game ever before. So kind of cool. Kind of interesting. I know I'm supposed to be stacking stuff up, but I don't really have anything to stack. I mean, I could stack the ultrasound, but we don't need that. And then this was really cool. Some of you guys recognize this one as a pretty valuable game. Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. Complete, great condition. Another supposed to be pretty good racing game too. So very cool to find that as well. So $17 for the pair here. These are going to go in the collection. I've heard great things about Outrun Coast to Coast. So looking forward to checking that one out at some point. So good finds there at the flea market, even if I had to pay up a little bit for that second little thing there. Very weird. Moving on then, I had to go out to a certain area, do some errands, and was driving through not a particularly good neighborhood. Not very good, not very nice. But I saw a garage sale I got on the pretty much on the sidewalk, and I saw the Wii box and games from my car. So I turned into the next street, park, head on over there. It was the middle of the day. It was like 2 p.m. and nothing's gonna happen. But it was just funny. I was like, "How much you want for the Wii stuff?" And he only wanted $5 for everything. So the Wii box is trashed. Like, it is covered in some kind of smegma or something. It's so gross. But some interesting stuff otherwise in there for only $5. There was a Wii system, and I just now realized I had it plugged in to see if there was a disc in the drive. There was not. but I have it in the other room, and it's a Wii system. You know what a white Wii system looks like. The shooter gun for Wii Remote. This is still sealed. New old stock, guys. Look at that. I like it, compatible with Wii Motion Plus. Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it's a piece of plastic, but other than that, I mean, the games are completely unremarkable. Wii Fit. I don't want to stack these because I don't want to put them on my nice table. They're really gross. I'm going to be honest. Disney Sing It. I mean, you can see the level of games here. This was a shame this wasn't in the... This was not in here at all. So, manual, but no game. Like, what is that? Like, how do you get this on your games, guys? What is this? Oh, that's so gross. Look at... I didn't know this was on. Ugh. How? How do you get this on? What is this? Oh. Ugh. Ugh. Didn't get it on my hands, luckily. That's nasty. Yeah, there's more on this. This is going straight in the trash because no one wants Project Runway anyway. But, ugh. Biggest Loser. This was, you know, as far as games go, the winner. Wii Sports. That was in there, so that is good. And Hooked, Real Motion Fishing. So, I mean, there's some remotes in here. Don't look too corroded or anything. Don't look too bad of shape. Remotes, you know, all the cords and everything. 2 remotes. Looks like some Motion Plus. Oh, God. Guys. What? I don't know what this piece is. This is a plate. This is food. I think someone dropped like a dish. Like, this is live reaction, by the way, because I just threw this in my crate and I haven't really looked at it. I think they like, this is like a piece of ceramic, like platers. I think they ate dinner and then dropped the dinner on the Wii. I don't. God. This is my live I'm not cutting this. This is my live reaction, and I'm not cutting this part out. Yeah, this is going to need some work, but for $5, right? The Wii at least wasn't covered in poop. Does that smell? It smells sweet. Like, it smells like it's a food or something. I don't know. If anyone can tell what that is, let me know. I really don't want to know, but I'm morbidly curious. Put your guesses in the... If you're still watching this, put your guesses in the comments. But, yeah, Alright, I think that'll be all for this pickup video then. I appreciate everyone for watching. Like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what you're thinking about this video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at ObjoGaming. And until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching.